separate matters. Two of them are to be dismissed as part of a plea agreement. And the two that are to be dismissed are cause numbers 2023 0C04783, 2023 0C04785. And then there is a third matter that is a purported plea of guilty, and that is cause number 2023 0C04784. If I may please have announcement of counsel on all three matters.
Stephen Lucy, on behalf of the state of Texas, we're ready to proceed.
Alex Shuala for Mr. Galvan. We're ready.
And thank you, Mr. Lucy. Thank you, Mr. Shuala. And good morning, Mr. Galvan.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you doing, Mr. Galvan?
Doing okay, Your Honor.
I'm happy to hear that. I know it's been a long time there, and I know that you're anxious to just conclude all of this and get on with your life.
Of course.
But Mr. Galvan, you have an excellent lawyer in Mr. Shuala. That's what he is. He's excellent. And I am sure he has explained all your rights to you.
Yes, Judge.
But as I must, I need to go over this same explanation of rights for you in these matters. And after I do this, if you have any question, any concern, then please let me know. Do we have that agreement, Mr. Galvan?
Yes, Judge.
In these matters, your rights are identical. In each of them, you have the right to a jury trial, to confront any and all witnesses against you, to plead not guilty and force the state through their attorney to prove up each and every element of these respective offenses against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You further have 10 days to prepare for trial on all three matters. And again, on all three matters, you have the right to remain silent. Now, Mr. Galvan, do you understand these very, very important rights?
Yes, Judge, I do.
And I take it you are a United States citizen.
That's correct.
And I believe you. I don't have any doubts. But I still must warn that if you are not, a plea of guilty to this one matter here this morning could result in your deportation, denial of naturalization, or exclusion under federal law. And even though that doesn't apply to you, do you understand it?
Yes, Judge, I understand.
And knowing all these things, Mr. Galvan, is it still your wish to plead guilty to this one matter here this morning?
That's correct. Family violence, Judge.
Yes, sir. And before I accept your plea on that one case, let me ask your attorney, Mr. Shuala, do you have any concerns, any reservations about Mr. Galvan's mental competency?
None at all.
Thank you, Mr. Shuala. Mr. Lucy, does the state have any concerns about the defendant's mental competency?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Lucy. Mr. Galvan, what was the last grade in school that you completed?
I have some college credits, sir.
Okay, so you're an educated man. You can clearly both read and write the English language?
That's correct, Judge.
Have you ever been treated, hospitalized, diagnosed with any type of mental illness or mental issue, Mr. Galvan?
Yeah, I've been diagnosed with PTSD, but as far as being competent, I fully believe I am, Judge.
Yes, sir. And I see that, Mr. Galvan, but these are questions that I necessarily must ask. Are you still treating for that condition, that PTSD?
I refuse to take any medication. I think I'll be well off with, just the basic exercise and stuff.
Okay. But Mr. Galvan, it looks to me you've understood everything that we've done here today and you've been able to talk to your lawyer and make decisions about your case, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And well, I can clearly see that Mr. Galvan is mentally competent, and I will make that finding. Now, Mr. Shuala, do you and your client acknowledge the state's compliance with Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 39.14 in all three matters?
We do, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Shuala. And Mr. Lucy, does the state acknowledge compliance with that statute on all matters?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Lucy. Then, Mr. Galvan, to this one case and this one case only, How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty, Judge.
And are you saying you're guilty, Mr. Galvan, because you are and not for any other reason?
That's correct.
Then I am going to accept your guilty plea as freely and voluntarily made. I am now finding you guilty of that one case, and I am going to honor and respect the plea agreement in its entirety. You are getting credit for any and all time served. There will be no fine. Court costs, however, must be paid. But you've got more than sufficient time, Mr. Galvan, to cover all of that. Mr. Galvan, how old are you?
I'm 30 years old, Judge.
And what were you working or doing anything before you were incarcerated on these matters?
Yes, sir. I was working.
What kind of job were you doing?
I do roofing, sir.
Okay, and one of my good friends is a roofer, and it's great opportunity, a good job. He provides very, very well for his family. Mr. Galvan, are you a dad by any chance?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many children do you have?
I have one kid.
Okay, little boy, little girl.
I'm not too sure, Your Honor. I just have the baby, so.
Okay. Well, Mr. Galvan, being a dad is a huge responsibility. And I don't know about you, Mr. Galvan, but that's what motivates me. It's God and then family in that order. And having a child is a blessing, Mr. Galvan. But with it comes great responsibility. And that means we're called to be the example. And I confess to you, I've not always been the best example. There are times that I've been embarrassed of the example I've been. You understand?
Yes, of course.
Because we all mess up, Mr. Galvan. Every single one of us, we mess up. But this is a lot more than just a simple mistake. Look at all that this has cost you. One day locked up is one day too many, Mr. Galvan. And I see a smart man before me. I see a man that has a potential of doing great things, accomplishing great things. And especially if you have a child, you haven't even maybe met this child, Mr. Galvan. What an opportunity to get out there and be that dad, be that example, and teach him things that'll keep him away from exactly what you are experiencing right now. What a great challenge, Mr. Galvan. And I don't know about you, but I'd be excited about getting out there and getting started on that new road, that new job. And I pray, Mr. Galvan, that everything go well for you. You deserve it. You've been locked up a long, long time. And it is time to start living, Mr. Galvan. And it's on you, okay? It's on you. Teaching that beautiful child, we don't know if it's a boy or girl, but teaching that child the right values, respecting others, respecting the mom, respecting people around him, everything. And Mr. Galvan, I've talked too much, but I mean every word that I've said.
I appreciate it.
Well, you strike me as being a good man, and I pray that you get on with life. You've got a lot to offer. And get on with life, Mr. Galvan. Hold your head up and be proud of the man you are.
Thank you, Judge.
Is there anything else, Mr. Lucy?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Shuala?
Yes, Judge, briefly, I noticed in the plea papers that I sent, I neglected to go, there are a couple initials missing, where we initial on the plea paperwork on the second page. And so I certainly went over those things with Mr. Galvan, and he signed below that, but we missed those initials, and I didn't see that he hadn't put them in. So maybe we can just clear that up on the record.
Okay.
So I did advise him that as an assault family violence case, although it doesn't change anything because he already has the felony conviction, same thing. He is not able to possess a firearm or ammunition under state and federal law. And then the other one below that is that he consents to doing this by video conference, which obviously he just did. So just wanted to make that clear on the record.
And
Since
Mr.
we're missing
Galvan,
those initials.
you've heard your lawyer on those two matters that you may not possess any firearm. You understand that.
Yes, Judge.
And that was something that Mr. Shuala explained to you, and that was meant for an initial, but you are in agreement with that, correct?
That's correct, Judge.
And also the other matter that Mr. Shuala just spoke about, you understood that as well, correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and you are again in agreement with that matter.
That's correct.
All right. If
Thank you, Judge.
If the clerk can just note that, and it is of record, Mr. Shuala.
Thank you. That's all I have.
All right. Well, then, if there's nothing else, we are adjourned. Mr. Galvan, que Dios lo bendiga. God bless you. You take care of yourself. You take care of that family, and get on with the job of being a great dad and a great person, Mr. Galvan. I see it in you. Okay, you've got it in you.
Thank you,
God
Judge.
bless you, sir.
God bless you too.
We are adjourned. And
Thanks,
thank you
Judge.
there at the annex.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor,
Mr. Shuala, that was all you had, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you are excused. And
Thank you.
Mr. Shuala, I think that was all you had, correct?
I believe so, Judge. May I be excused.
You're good to go, Mr. Shuala. Give my best to everyone.
Your Honor,
Will do. Have a great day.
Okay, Mr. Lucy.
I just sent in the 2 dismissals for the other cases.
Okay, and thank you, Mr. Lucy.
Yes. Thank you.
And Marlene and Cheryl, thank you.
Are we
guys.
good to go? Thank you, Judge.
You are good to go, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.